Okay, welcome back again to my channel. My name is Cynthia. In today's tutorial, I'm going to teach you how I arrive at this beautiful dress you're seeing right here. Okay, I'll be using 4 yards of Ankara fabric, and the reason why I'm using 4 yards is because on that down the below area, the down area, I'll be using gathers. Okay, I won't be using the normal flake because I'm trying to manage the material I have. Okay, so if today is your first time of coming to my channel, please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe. Also hit the notification bell so you always get notified whenever we upload our videos. So right now, let's dig it into the class. For the upper side, I'll be making it a tube. Okay, I'll be making it tube, the upper side, that's the upper bodice. And the picture you saw there, it was covered, that's shoulder, but mine will not have any shoulder. So you just do whatever you want to do, just that the down area is going to be high, low, and all that. So at the savage end, just try to cut it off. Okay, always cut the savage end off. And like I said, it's going to be an off shoulder. I'll be minusing 4 inches from my off shoulder. 4 inches. I'll take my bust point at 10 inches. My underbust I'll take as 16 inches. I'm making this dress for myself, okay? And I'll be adding 3 inches for my band allowance or waist allowance. 1, 2, 3 at 19. So I'll just leave it as at 19, okay? Since from bust point to underbust is underbust is much, so we're leaving it at 3 inches. But if you're working for a smaller bust, you still add your 1 inch for allowance. So this whole 3 inches, I'll be using 1 inch from it for my allowance. Okay, so at the end of everything, I'll be left with 2 inches. Don't forget that. If you're working for a smaller bust, add your 1 inch for allowance. So here I have my bust point, and this is my underbust, and 3 inches for my band line. And like I said, I'll be taking 1 inch out of this band line. So at the end of everything, we should have 2 inches around there. The reason is because the distance from my bust point to my underbust is much. So don't forget that. But if you're working for a smaller bust, add 1 inch. Okay, so the nipple to nipple I'm working with is 5 inches. 5 inches. The reason is because my bust is size 46. Okay, and in one of my videos I gave you bust sizes, nipple to nipple sizes you should use for each bust. Okay, I'll be putting the link below, so just go ahead and watch it, okay, so that you know the reason why I took 5 inches. But if you are confused on what to use, always measure your client's nipple to nipple, meaning from one bust palm towards the other one. So just measure in case, so that you will not be confused. So right now I'll take 1.5 inch at this area, and then here I'll take 1 inch. In all of my video I usually take 1 inch here, but because I'm working for me, I'm busty, that's why I am using 1.5 around here. So connect it. So you see the distance from here to here is much. From here to here is much. So I'll be coming down by 2 inches. Okay, so come down by 2 inches. I'm going to use my trouser ruler because I want it to look a little bit curved, not straight, to connect. Okay, and then once you are through with that, I'm going to use my pattern master. I'll connect it slantedly straight. Okay, so once I am done with this, hope you can see it very well. Okay, once I'm done with this, I'm going to take the upper dart. So here I'll take 1.5, and then here I'll take 1 inch. So I'll use my pattern master to connect it. This time around, it's going to touch my bust point. Now this tutorial is going to be faster, okay, because I'm not dividing it into two. It's just going to be one tutorial. I'll be cutting and also sewing, so this aspect is going to be faster. The reason why I'm going to make it faster is because I have a video already on how to cut a bustier, so please you bear with me, eh? So just try and smoothen this area and smoothing this place too. So now let's take our measurement. The bust I'm working with is 46. 46 divided by 4. Eh? 11.5. Okay. So we have 11.5 and then 3 inches for our allowance. The other bust we're working with is 44 divided by 4. 11 inches. So remember we took out 2.5 inch allowance here, so I'm going to add it back, and then I'm going to add 3 inches for my sewing allowance. I usually like putting a lot of allowance on my dress. If you've been following me for some time, you discover that I take a lot of allowance. Okay. So now the armhole I'm working with, we minus 4 inches. With minus 4 inches, the armhole I'm working with is 9 inches, so I'll put my armhole line here, and then the shoulder I'm working with is 15.5 divided by 2, we have 7.75. Then these darts, I'm going to place it back, so I'll be adding 2.5 for my dart allowance, and then I'll take the line to meet for the neck area. I'll take 1.5 inches for my neck, and then with the help of my French curve, pattern master, I'm going to connect it this way. Okay, let's use this. I'll connect this way, and so I'm going to connect my armhole. So we just go this way until we get to this so you can see, okay, so you can see. So I'm going to cut it out. I'm going to cut it out now. Then I will use it to trace out towards the back. First of all, let's cut that from here. So I'm going to use it to trace out the back. Just place this way. Now for the back, I'll be adding 2 inches allowance, so my zipper allowance. So I'm going to cut out the back, okay? So we have the back, the 2 inches allowance, you can see for our zipper allowance, and this is the front. So let's cut out the back. Now what you need to do to cut out this back now, you're going to follow that first initial nipple to nipple line. So the first initial nipple to nipple line is around here. So we'll follow it up. So now I am going to set my back. So this is the back, okay? The center back. I'll keep this one. Then I'm going to finish with the front. I'll finish with the front. This is the front here. Cut out the front part. So I'm going to trim the back part, okay? I'm going to trim it. So just take the line straight. So that both the back and the front will be equal. So I'll place it so that you see it. So this is the front part, okay, and then I also have the back part. So let's do the lower bodice. Let's make the lower bodice. Okay, I want to do the lower part. My gown length is 43. I remember we took out 18 inches from our upper body, so I'm going to place my fabric at 18 inches. Okay, please always remove the savage line, so I'll place that 18 inches. So from that place to my hip is waist, my upper bodice to my hip is 25 inches, but I will use 26 inches because of my allowance. And then the length of the gown, I said, is going to be 43 inches. I'll add extra 2 inches for my allowance. Okay, so the waist I'm working with, always demarcate this, okay? The savage line, make sure you remove it. That's the border line and the starting point. So the waist I'm working with is 46 divided by 4 is what? 11.5. So I'm going to add 3 inches for my allowance, and then I'll be putting dart of 1 inch. I'll add my dart of 1 inch. I'll add dart of 1 inch. And the hip I'm working with is 58 divided by 4 is what? 13.5. 14.5 divided, sorry, plus 3 inches, okay? So I'm going to connect the 14.5 to meet what? My waist. So from there, I'll be minusing 2 inches for the lower part. I want it to look very pencil to kill. 14.5 minus 2 inches, we have 12.5 plus my 3 inches for allowance. So I'm going to connect all of them. So we connect. I'll start cutting now. So this is it. So right now we're going to start with the words high, low. But before then, I'm going to open up the back side. That's the zipper allowance area. So once I open it up, I'm going to determine where I want the high, low to start. Okay, I want it to be at my left hand side. You can decide to make it on your what? right hand side. So let me see where I really want it. No, I don't mind. Make a hand right or left. Right. So I want it at my right hand side, which is this area, okay? Which is this area. So I'm going to bring the back and then open it up. I'll make it front side facing each other. So this is the down part of the gown, okay? Now I want to start putting the high, low, whatever, okay? So right now, determine how much of the high, low you want it to be, okay? Or high you want it to be. So, and I said I want it to be around my right hand side. So take the clothes, test it on yourself, so that you'll be very, very sure of where the right side is. So this is my right hand side. I am going to come up by 9 inches, okay? So I want it to be at 9 inches. So this is 9 inches. So from the 9 inch here, I'm going to connect it to meet what? Here, okay? So let's connect it. You can decide to go more higher, okay? You can decide to go more higher. Okay, let's go higher by, let's use 11 inches. It all depends on how high you want it. So from there, we are going to connect. So we are connecting from there to here. I have to place it this way so that you understand very better. This is the upper side, this side is the upper side, this is the down part. So let's connect. Now I want it to be on both back and what? Front. So we're going to cut it off. This is it. Bit of the skirts. So you can see how it's looking. Cloth is very big. That's why you're not getting it well. Okay, look at it. You can see how high it went from this place, then it went high to here, okay? So right now I'm going to cut out my the pleats, okay? You can use your flay, but I'll be using gathers, so I'm going to cut out the pleats. Let me show you very well. You can see it, so you can see how high and low it is. High and low. Let me keep it this way. So this is it. Came this way, then down. So you can see it very well. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and cut out what the pieces. We are going to gather it up and use it to put on the down part. Remember, we minus 11 inches. But I will not be using exactly 11 inches, okay? I'll be using 8 because I also want that area to be a little bit high. So I'm through with cutting out the fabric I will use for the gathers, the lower parts. Okay, to know what to cut out, I use the *4 of my hip, okay? *4 of my hip measurement is what I use. So 57 times 4 is 228 I'm using. You can try to use *3 of your hip, okay? But I'm using *4 of my hip because I want it to be more gathered. So right now I'm going to go and cut out my lining. We cut out our bustier, and then we are going to impute my bustier, okay? I have a video on how to put your bustier, to put your stay and all that, to pad your bustier. I have a video on it, so we're putting the link below, so you just go and watch it. So I'll go off camera, I'll cut out my lining, and then I'm going to pad my iron my gum stay and wording on my stay. So we're going to start with stitching.
So right now I'm gathering the fabric, the lower part, okay. I'm using the gather stitch to gather all the words, the fabric. So once I am through with gathering it, I'll just go ahead and join them together, okay. I'll set it aside and then I'm going to start joining the back side. Okay, so I just started joining the words, the back side. I'm going to go ahead and join the back side. And so once I'm through with joining the back side, I can now start joining what's the front area. So once I'm through with joining the back side, I'm going to go ahead and start joining what all the lining. So what I did was I joined the upper bodies of the lining to the lower bodies of the lining. Yes, that's how I'm joining this clothes today. I did that for both the front and what the back. So once I am done with joining the back, I started joining my bustier. I went ahead to add my wording and gum stay on it. I doubled my gum stay. So once we are through with joining a bustier, I'll just go ahead and notch it, okay. So try and notch your work. So I just went ahead and notch it, and then I went off camera to give it a nice press. So once we are through with that, I'm going to join the upper bodies of the front to the lower bodies, okay. So I'm joining the upper bodies and the lower bodies together. So once I'm through with that, I'm going to join the back side. Okay, I'm going to join the back side, the lower bodies to the to the upper bodies. So once we are through with that, I'm going to set it aside. Okay, I'm going to pin the zipper allowance. Okay, I'm trying to pin the zipper allowance.
I don't
Now
understand.
this is going to help me to play. This is going to help me
That's
when
why
I'm
I
trying
said
to
she made
place when I'm
the
trying to
measure
take
number.
my measurement. So
Now you
I'm
do
trying
it
to
today.
take the
You said you
measurement.
brought
So
four
that's
inches.
the reason why I'm pinning what the 2 inch zipper
Now,
allowance. So just go ahead and
which
pin it
one
up.
is
And once you're
much?
done pinning it, you're going to
Which one
make
is
it
that?
face right side
Just
facing
get
right
center
side.
of the
Okay,
up and center
right
of the
side of
back.
the front facing the right side of
Or
the
you lose.
of the back body.
You want it
So
to get.
let's continue. So I'll just go ahead and pin. So make sure it is the 2 inches you brought out you are pinning. So I'm through with pinning the 2 inches my zipper allowance. I'm going to grab myself the front parts. I'm going to pin the front part together, and then I'm going to take my measurement. So I'm going to take my measurements, and then once I'm through with taking the measurement, I'll take the same measurement on the lining, okay, pinning also the zipper side. So I'm going to start joining the lining. So I'm joining the lining right now. So I'm truly joining the lining, and then joining the fabric. Remember, I closed it, so try and measure yours. So once I'm through with stitching the front parts and the lining, I'm going to get the gathers, okay, that
So,
the flare we gathered now,
this
you're
is
going to
the front
get it
side.
so we're placing the front.
And
So once I place the front this
this is
way,
the lining.
I'm going to place the
This is
lining
the
on top of
lining.
it
So,
also
the
this way. You
cover
see
up
how I'm
the top.
closing it, I'm doing it.
This is the
Remember,
lining to cover the
I've
top.
joined the put the lining and
I'll be using the
the
lining to cover
normal
it
the
up. But before I
dress
start
together. I've
covering
joined
it
it.
up with my
So what
lining,
I'm trying to do
I'm
now, I'm
going to go
trying to
ahead
um
and put
place
the
my
what?
gathers. So I'm going to
The
place the
gathers, okay?
gathers in between
This is
the
the gathers.
fabric and the
I'm going
lining,
to gather
in
this.
between the original fabric and the lining. And so once I place it, I'm going to pin it
I'll
right
trim this
round.
place.
I'm going to pin it, okay. I'm trying to take off that excess so that it won't get on the way while I'm pinning. So once I do that, I'm going to start
So,
pinning it, okay. I'm going to
Now
pin
I'm going to
I'm going to pin on the
place it
fabric,
now.
okay, in between the
Pin it together.
lining and the what and the fabric. And so the gathers is
Pin
going
it
to be
together.
facing the main fabric, okay, front side facing front side. So once I'm through with pinning it, I will now use the lining to cover it up, and then I'll go and do all my what, all my turn up. I don't know
So
if you
I'm going to
understand
go
what I'm
ahead
saying,
and
but I'm going to try and pin
pin it
all the
like
gathers
okay.
towards to the
Then
main
I'll come back and
fabric.
show you
And so
the
once I
finished
am
look
through with
after I
pinning
finish
it that
pinning
way,
it together.
I will now use the lining to cover it up, okay? We'll use the lining to cover it up. So we'll now go and what? And sew. So I'm still what? In the process of what? Pinning what?
True. That will follow
My
me. That's why never
roughly
fly
that's
enter inside.
the ruffle part towards
I said I threw our
the upper,
color.
the frontal upper body. So I'm still pinning
They
it. So
open.
just take your time and then pin them together. And so um while we are still pinning, sorry, if today is your first time of coming to this channel, please do not forget to give it a thumbs up at the end of this tutorial if you find it very helpful, and also what, subscribe. So I'm almost done with the
Alpha.
pinning. While I am done with the
Brain.
pinning, I am going to go to my machine and we're going to
Okay.
start with stitching. So once you're done with it,
The rest not done.
just go, we're going to use the lining
Look
to
at it.
cover it up, and then once we cover it up, we'll now what, start stitching. And so once I start stitching, I am going to do all my turn ups, okay? We'll do up the turn up, that's with the lining and the main fabric. We'll do all the turn ups, okay? So once I'm done with the pinning, I'm going to go ahead and then and cover the work, okay, with the lining. So you see what I'm doing there. So use the lining to cover it up. So right now I'm going to start stitching, okay, starting from the upper area. I'm going to stitch. I'm going to do all my turn ups, okay. So at this time, at this stage, just do all your turn ups, okay. You turn up from the upper side to the what, to the armhole side, and to the zip side, down to the what, the hem side, okay. But the ruffles is going to be in between the lining and the what, and the Ankara fabric. So I'm going to go ahead and keep what turning the work up, okay. So just make sure your works are turned up and make sure it's very very what, neat. So um once I'm done with doing this, I'm going to go ahead and put on my zipper, and then I'll put on the what, the sleeve, okay. You can decide to make it a
So
tube, okay, without sleeve and all that,
this is it.
but I'm making
I'm
it,
still
I'll add a
covering
sleeve to it. So this is
everything.
it. This is how it
You can
looks
see
like.
this is the
So
back, this is the armhole
that's the
area,
armhole area,
this is
and
the
this is the
front part.
bust, okay.
So right
And
now
so
I'm
I'm
going
going to
to
go ahead and give it a
insert
nice
my zip.
press.
Okay,
So you can
I'm going to
see
go
that
ahead and
down
insert
area
the zip.
is covered with what, with the lining.
So I did
So
a
right
turn
now
up
I'm going
right
to go
round
ahead to put
everywhere.
what, my zipper.
I turned it up.
So
So I'm going
I'll
to
put
put
my
the zip.
zip, okay.
So
We'll
I'll
go
put the
ahead and
zip
put
and
our
then
zip. So once you are
I'm going to
done
put it on.
with putting the
Now, like
zip,
I said,
we're now
is
going to go ahead and put our
it's
what,
a tube
our
gown,
sleeve.
okay,
So I did
and
that
it
off
has
camera. I didn't
ruffles
show
on
that,
the
okay.
new area,
But make sure you iron your
slanted
work
new
once you are
ruffles. It's a
through with
tube gown, okay.
putting on the zip.
Because
Just
of this tutorial, I'm
give
making
your
it a
work a
tube, but
nice
at the end of the
press.
tutorial,
And so
I'm going to
I'm
put
going to
sleeve
go
on it
and
because I
put
would like to
up
wear it to church.
my
But
zipper
for
and
now,
then
it's going to
give
be a
my
tube
work a
gown.
nice
So
ironing,
I had to
and then I'm
turn
going
everything
to
up with my lining, okay.
close up the zipper like
So
I
this is
said,
also the down
and then
part.
I'll put it on
You
so
can
you
see
see it very well. So you can
this is the
see
down part.
it's really coming out beautifully well. The
So
ruffles, I like the way they are
I've
looking.
added all
Okay,
the
so let's go
gathers
ahead and put
and
the
I
zip,
made it.
and then so you can see it's
I
covered
turned
very well.
everything up. You
You
can
see the
see
turn up,
I
I
turned
turned
it
it
up both front
inside,
and
so
what
it's
and back.
just neat.
So let's go
All
ahead
right,
and
so
put on
right
the
now
zip
I
on
am
it.
going to go ahead and put it on so you see. So this is the finished look. And I am looking beautiful and pretty on it. isn't me. English. So this is a finished look of what? Of the high-low one-sided gown, okay? So it really came out the way I wanted. I didn't want it to be that high because I would want to wear it to church. So I like the way it's looking. It's beautiful. And okay, so please, if this tutorial was very helpful, please give it a thumbs up, and please don't forget to what, to subscribe. Okay, I am going to see you on my next video. I remain Cynthia. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.